Hey guys, this is Mo for PhoneFight, and this is part 2 of the phone fight between the Mytouch 4G and the HTC HD7. HD7 is obviously running Windows Phone 7 software, as the HTC Mytouch 4G is running Android 2.2 along with a HTC Sense overlay. Let's get into this. I said we're going to go into the phone apps, messaging apps, and a browser into this section. Let's check this out. For the Mytouch 4G, to get into the phone app, you simply hit the phone button right here. I want to say something right off the bat though. This is HTC Sense overlay, so this is not the typical setup you're going to have with any Android device. This is exclusive to HTC Sense capable devices that has the Sense loaded on there. So the things that you see here, also I want to remind you that this is more developed. The Windows Phone 7 has just been released. Both of these phones, in my opinion, are awesome phones. It just depends on your personal preference. Let's get down to the beginning. First thing you're going to see here is the dialer. The dialer allows you to search your contacts based on the letters right here. So you could search for a contact just by typing in the letters on the number pad. Let's start out over here. We have your contacts. This brings up your contact list. When you press the picture right there, it brings up three options: call, view, or to text message. Let's go down to faves. This is where HTC Sense added a feature for you to basically put your favorite contacts, your people you call frequently all the time. When you do have contacts in here, it shows their pictures just like this, and you could swipe between them in a nice 3D effect. This is back to your phone. By the way, this top part right here is reserved for your last recent call. So when you do open this, it's going to show your last recent call and also the dialer, which is pretty convenient. You have your call log, shows it on a list view, and then your voicemail right here at the end. Let's check out the Windows Phone 7 dialer. In the Mytouch 4G, if you have any missed calls or anything or a voicemail, it shows up in the top bar right here. It shows up your notifications. Obviously, it'll show missed calls, show a new text message or anything like that. On the Windows Phone 7 devices, right here with this little phone icon, since these are live wallpapers, this will show a number 1 or a number 2, or depending on how many calls you missed, it will show a number next to the phone icon. Let's get into that. First thing it's going to take you into on the Windows Phone 7 device is call history. So right away, you see call history. This should show your call log right over here. On the bottom, we have a voicemail button. When you hit that, it takes you directly to voicemail. Alright, I have airplane mode activated right now. We have your keypad. This is to dial numbers. You cannot search based on the letters on the keypad. And then we have your phone book. This takes you into your People's app, which allows you to select a contact. Let's go back. You hit options. You could hit call settings right here. And it basically is the technical stuff that you really never use anyways. Voicemail number, international assist. Right now showed that we have radios off. Call quality on both of these phones has been excellent. I did complain originally with the Mytouch 4G. I then had the same problems with the HD7. I was having a lot of reception issues. I called T-Mobile. I had them reset my settings, which I never had to do before. When they did that, all of a sudden my calls were coming in clear on both devices. So both of these devices have excellent call quality. Both of them, obviously, I would hope, these days all phones are like this. They both obviously support Bluetooth. Both of them have speakerphone. With the Mytouch 4G, let's say you're in a call. This is how it looks, your layout. You have your mute button, speaker button. This is to view your contact card and your dialer. You have the end call button. Another nice feature about the HTC Sense overlay is when you're in the middle of a call, all you have to do is flip it upside down and it automatically puts the phone into speaker mode. If the phone is in your pocket, the ringer knows to ring louder. And also, if the phone is ringing while it's on a table, the second you pick it up, the ringer will quiet down for you. In the middle of a phone call with the HD7, it will show the same options for speakerphone. However, it does not have the nice little features as this does. There are apps to download already for the HD7. However, it doesn't come stock with the phone. There are apps though that can make it where you flip it upside down. It does take it into speaker mode. Let's go into messages. Right over here, right away, since I don't have any messages, if I did, it would show my different people that I had conversations with, threaded. Right here, we have composed message. Okay, we have up on the top, it shows 2. You could hit this, takes you to your contacts. Let's go back. Let's go to Let's go back again. Let's just start typing. This is the HTC Sense keyboard. This is not the Android keyboard. So, I'm sorry, I think this is, yeah, this is swipe right here that we're on. Let's go back. So the Mytouch 4G does have swipe installed. So let's type it out. Sorry, it's kind of hard to do from behind the camera. Alright, here we go. The Mytouch 4, you press and hold for a number or a symbol. Mytouch 4G has swipe pre-installed, and it automatically default when you take the phone out. It's already on swipe. It doesn't have that. I think you guys know what swipe's all about. It's pretty easy. I'm just I don't use it all the time. I kind of prefer the traditional keyboard. So right here you press and hold, and it brings up input method. Let's go into touch input. This is the HTC keyboard. Is the HTC keyboard. Nice feature that all Android phones always have is multiple options for inputting text. So this one you have the swipe, you also have the HTC keyboard. I kind of like the Android keyboard, which is not available on this phone, and it also has the magnifying glass for editing text, which is I believe should be a standard on all phones. Also has, when you let go, you could select text, select all, input method. So let's go to select all and let's cut it all. And then lastly we have, let's go to input method again, drag and dictation, accept. This is a test of the drag and dictation typing software. Let's see what happens. It's processing. Connection timed out. I'm not sure. It's usually right on the money, though, I have to say, with the drag and dictation. It usually catches what I'm saying right away. Let's go into the messaging app on the HD7. Also shows it threaded view. Let's go to plus right here to add a new message. Same thing, you have your little plus sign, takes you into your People's app. I have no contacts right now. And you type down here to start typing. That noise could be disabled in the settings, just so you know, so you don't have to worry about it if it gets annoying. I've been using this keyboard for a few days. I have to say it's one of the best keyboards I've ever tried. It's right on par with the latest virtual keyboards out there. Biggest flaws though right now that really need an update. You press and hold, there's no other options. It does bring up the cursor for editing text, but there is no copy paste, there is no select all to delete. If you want to delete something, you have to just hit the back button all the way. The sensitivity though, and everything with the virtual keyboard is right on the money. There is no complaints whatsoever on that. I just think that you need more options. There's also no other option besides the Windows Phone 7 keyboard. So therefore I'm going to say that the Mytouch 4G definitely wins when it comes to the keyboard, just because of the options that they give you. Let's check out the browsers on both of these devices. We are both connected to the same Wi-Fi network. Let's go into the internet here for the Mytouch 4G and hit the Internet Explorer for the HD7. Let's type in a web address. Let me change the input method because I'm not too good typing with that. Input method. Let's go into touch input. Let's try out. Let's try out tmobile.com. And right away it gives you suggestions of websites you can go to. Sorry guys, this is kind of hard to type from behind the camera. And let's go to the HD7. Okay. I'm going to try this. I'm not the greatest at this. Let's try to hit both of these at the same time. I think the HD7 went first. So they're both loading right now. Let's see what happens here. The HD7 is starting to load. Once again, I think I did hit it probably about a half second before the Mytouch 4G. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is that the Mytouch 4G has Flash Player capability, so it might take a little bit longer to load just because it is loading Flash content. And the HD7 loaded the web page in a full page mode, and the Mytouch 4G loaded it into almost like a column view. So let's wait for this to finish loading. Don't worry, we'll do another website loading test just to verify. I'm going to try to do them at the same time. And let's start with the HD7. The pinch to zoom is super smooth. I haven't seen a phone with pinch to zoom this smooth in a long time. You have also your double tap. Okay, options on the page, share on page, find on page, pin to start. So you could add a shortcut to your start screen and your settings. We go into settings, allow cookies, let Bing suggest sites as I type, delete history. Not too many settings there, but I have to say that the pinch to zoom is excellent. You rotate the screen. Big flaw that I mentioned in the review of the HD7, there's no address bar on the top, and there's also no favorites icons on the bottom. So anytime you want to go to a different web page, you have to rotate it back into portrait mode, and the address bar comes back on the top. Big flaw, but like I said, that's the thing about coming to a new platform. You kind of have to live with the pains until the quirks are worked out. Pinch to zoom on here is also nice. I'm going to say honestly that it's not as smooth as the HD7. I'm not sure what they did to that, if they did something with the sensitivity. Might have something to do with the Flash Player. However, it is still very smooth on here, just not the same. And you see right there when you pinch to zoom all the way out, it takes you into your Windows tab. So if you keep pinching to zoom out, it takes you into your Windows tab. Let's go back. Double tap to zoom, goes into column view, and if you press and hold, it does select text for you, so you could copy and paste onto your clipboard. Real nice, real convenient right there. There are a lot of options here. Add bookmarks, Windows, bookmarks, back, more, and when you rotate the screen, the address bar is still there, so you could type into a screen right there. You could also go into the menu button and everything. Let's test out the rotation speeds on both of these. Let's try to do this at the same time. Oopsies. Alright. 1, 2, 3. The HD7 was quicker. Let's go again. That time the Mytouch 4G was quicker. One more time. HD7. Seems like going into portrait mode, the Mytouch 4G is faster. It seems like going into landscape mode, the HD7 is faster. But on both of them, it's very smooth. I've never had any issues. Let's try loading up another web page. But definitely so far, the Mytouch 4G, just because it's more developed, does have way more options when it comes to the internet browser. Let's go to ESPN.com. And ESPN.com. Let's try this again. 1, 2, 3. That time the Mytouch 4G started loading quicker. It's not done yet, and the HD7 is still loading. Okay, the HTC HD7, even though I have it checked off in the menu to have the desktop mode off, it still loads it into desktop mode, which is still pretty quick. However, we obviously wanted it into mobile mode. So there it is. The scrolling is still pretty smooth. This did take us into the, let's make sure that it's checked off in the settings. Yeah, see, we have it checked off as the mobile version should load. It's still loading up into the desktop mode. The Mytouch 4G is definitely going to win on the browser. The HD7 is great just because of the 4.3-inch touchscreen. It's great. It's real smooth. It's great for zooming in, zooming out with the pinch to zoom. However, just the lack of options available, just because it's a new platform, definitely the Mytouch 4G is going to win. Stay tuned for part 3. I'm going to have the apps and the camera review. I'm also going to finish up this phone fight, tell you what I think, tell you flaws with the Mytouch 4G, tell you flaws with the HD7. Please subscribe if you didn't already. I'll see you in part 3.